Solid 427 through to Spadina. As a result, the southbound 427, that's a heavy one, from the 401 all the way down to the Gardner. Traveling in town, we've got a collision getting cleared away at Shepherd and Meadowvale. A Toronto judge has dismissed, just this past hour, an application to have the Cleveland Indians name and logo banned in Ontario. The injunction was filed by Douglas Cardinal, an Indigenous activist and a well-known architect. Lawyers arguing against it represented Rogers Communications, the Cleveland team, and MLB, the Major League Baseball. Joe Householder represents Douglas Cardinal. Mr. Householder, what's your reaction and your client's reaction to the decision today from the Ontario Superior Court?
Well, we're disappointed in the sense that the judge did not grant the immediate injunction, but we also count it as a win in the sense that this has enabled us and enabled Mr. Cardinal to elevate an issue of serious concern. This is an issue that people have talked about quite often, as you know, but it is now a matter of national conversation, international conversation, in fact, and for that, we consider it a win.
How much was that the objective in the first place?
That was part of it. Obviously, there's the immediate question of the racially discriminatory nature of the combination of the logo and the name. And it is something about which Mr. Cardinal has felt strongly for a number of years, and so it got to the point where enough was enough. But it also was an opportunity to raise the profile of an issue, which we've done. And I want to make one point very clear. The judge did not rule on the merits of that question. He didn't say, no, I found that it's not discriminatory. He found that he could not, under the law, issue this injunction. The question of whether it's discriminatory under Canadian law is before the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal and the Canadian Human Rights Commission, and those questions will be resolved there.
Right. Is it common the way it unfolded? Because, as you say, the judge didn't give reason for the decision, just saying that it needed to be dealt quickly, given that this game is going to get underway in a couple of hours, and the broadcast as well. So, talking about the decision to be followed in writing, is that common?
Given the, I don't know how common it is, but it's certainly understandable. You got to give the judge a lot of credit. He had a ton of paper and arguments thrown at him in a very short period of time, and this matter was filed on Friday. And he had to review a lot of case law and a lot of arguments and issue an opinion. So the opportunity to sit down and write out the reasons he came to the conclusion that he didn't present itself. So he came to the conclusion, he's now going to write the explanation as to why.
What does the law say, if anything, about an application like the one that was heard today?
Well, the law permits a request for an injunction like this. That is a very common request when there's a matter of irreparable harm being done to a person under law. So it certainly permits this. The judge found that, unfortunately for Mr. Cardinal and our team, that we didn't meet the standard. The law also permits an assessment of his logo and name as to whether or not they're racially discriminatory. Mr. Cardinal and his team certainly believe that it is, and that's why we'll be before the two human rights tribunals to issue that determination in the future.
I was following some of the court proceedings today through Twitter, and I saw, according to what I saw, it sounds like there was some question as to the length of time that the Cleveland baseball team has had this name and has been playing this game, and indeed has been playing against the Toronto Blue Jays, been playing here for many decades. So what was the argument as to why this was of great importance now?
Well, this is the first time the two teams have ever played in a playoff together, and so the public prominence of the game is vastly elevated over a regular season game. But I would make the point to you that if I were to rob a house 5 years ago and got away with it, that doesn't mean that you can't call the cops on me today if I rob it again today. The harm was occurred 40 years ago. The harm is occurring today, simply because Mr. Cardinal didn't bring the complaint 40 years ago doesn't mean he doesn't have the right to do that.
Now, you mentioned that you consider it as partly a win, given the degree to which the conversation has been spread nationwide and even internationally. I saw the Guardian writing about this today. There's also the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario, the Canadian Human Rights Commission. Douglas Cardinal's also filed there to explain the merit that this case may have in those forums.
Well, that's really where the meat of this case is going to be determined, because those are the bodies that have the legal authority to really
the right call made by the Ontario Superior Court? Should the name and logo for the Cleveland team be banned in Ontario? As always, we welcome your thoughts. 416-205-2700 is the phone number to call, and you can tweet us at CBC Here Now. You can also send us an email, hereandnow@cbc.ca.
Dig into this, investigate the matter, and make some determinations. The request for an injunction was simply because there was a view on our part that there was immediate harm being done to Mr. Cardinal and the people like him. But since the court disagreed without ruling on the merits, and was never really asked to rule on the merits, we still have those applications pending, and we'll pursue those.
And what do we know about when those decisions, we'll hear those?
That's a matter for the commissioners to determine. I mean, the filings were just on Friday, and so it's just going to be up to them, based on their normal course of business, to set things up and get the process moving.
All right, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a busy day for you. Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
That's Joe Householder, who is a spokesperson for Douglas Cardinal, who filed an injunction. He's an Indigenous activist and a well-known Canadian architect. Filed an injunction to the Ontario Superior Court, and a judge dismissed that application today to have the Cleveland baseball team's name and logo banned in Ontario. As we mentioned, there remains a filing with the Human Rights Tribunal and the Canadian Human Rights Commission. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think about the court's decision? Was that the right call made by the Ontario Superior Court? Should the name and logo for the Cleveland team be banned in Ontario? As always, we welcome your thoughts. bc.ca.
I wish I was sober before you came over, but you know that this is making me nervous. I'm drunk in a cafe, you're drinking a latte, and I haven't slept a wink waiting for this date with you. Do you feel it too? You give me a cookie, there's crumbs all up on me, and there's lipstick on the tip of my nose. You're staring at me like I'm under the spotlight. The sweat is dripping down to my toes. Enjoy the view. I'm staying with you. I just wanna dance under the lights of this coffee shop. If you just hold my hand, we'll spin around the tables till we both fall down and stop. Oh, I wish this night would never end. Tipsy and wired, feeling inspired to tell you about my Barbie collection. They're all mint in box and have one that talks. It feels so good to tell you my secrets. God love you. I'm staying with you, yeah. I just wanna dance under the lights of this coffee shop. If you just hold my hand, we'll spin around the tables till we both fall down and stop. Oh, I wish this night would never end.
That's Barbara Lika, music from her new record. It's called Coffee Shop. She'll be performing in Aurora. Not at a coffee shop, but the Cultural Centre. She'll be there with her jazz quintet this Friday night, the 21st of October. Julia Chapman is a producer from CBC Toronto Newsroom. She is here with a look at one of the big stories being covered tonight by the newsroom.
Hi, Jill. You might be familiar with the Evergreen Brickworks, the space, the farmers market, big green space.
My dog's tail is wagging even harder right now just listening to
He or
talk
she loves
about
it
in the rain.
Yeah.
Yes, a favorite destination for sure.
Okay. Okay, well, I mean, it is a very popular space for a lot of Toronto residents, but despite that popularity, the space around the Evergreen Brickworks, the large ravine system, isn't actually designated as a city park. Now, CBC has learned that there is a plan to change that, and tomorrow we're expecting Mayor John Tory to announce a plan to make the Brickworks, the area around it, a new massive city park. It'll actually be bigger than High Park. Now, park status for this area could mean there's more financial support for art installations, cultural programs in that area, as well as providing more access points into the area, so residents will know where and how to get into the park and hopefully increase its use. Now, we spoke to Jeff Cape earlier. He's the CEO of the Brickworks.
Great cities are defined by their public space. Amazing public spaces, whether it be Central Park in New York City or the High Line in New York City. This is Toronto's biggest asset, the ravine system.
Well, we know tomorrow, Jill, that Tory will thank a number of private donors who are making this possible to help revitalize the Brickworks, and also announce a new competition to rename that, or what will become Toronto's newest big park. So you can stay tuned. John Lancaster will have this story tonight on CBC Television. We'll have it on again at 11 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Last word to Lori Turcotte. Well, if you're planning on coming in